Hello again. I'm going to make a rich chocolate tart. It's a recipe that I've adapted from Rachel Allen's book called Bake, and I've tried to just make it a little bit simpler, so I think you might enjoy this. Have a look, see what you think. Now the recipe calls for you, the original recipe calls for you to make some dessert pastry and line a flan tin and bake it blind, but I've just bought one. I've bought one of those dessert pastry cases. They're a little bit tricky because hiding under the label you can never tell how damaged they are, and actually this one is more damaged than I would like, so I'm sorry about that, but I'm sure it'll be okay. So it's a dessert pastry case, and then we need to heat some milk and cream, and it's 75 of milk and 75 of double cream, so a total of 150 obviously. And that's going to go into a saucepan. And if you put the milk in first and the cream in second, it doesn't stick to the jug quite as much. Okay, so we'll give it a bit of a scrape. That's going to go over to the cooker, and we're going to just heat it. So it's quite warm but not boiling, and then we add chocolate chips to it, and they can be whichever brand you like. And I've got a mixture. I've got 75 of milk chocolate and I've got 75 of dark under there as well. So 150 of the cream and milk and 150 of chocolate. So let's go over to the cooker and get that done. Smallish gas flame, and just get it warm enough to melt your chocolate. And you'll know whether it's warm enough because it's going to start to bubble around the edges. If you're not sure whether it's warm enough, you can be brave and stick your finger in. And I can't feel that, so that's blood heat, so that's not quite warm enough to melt my chocolate. Okay, I think we're there. Bubbles around the edge. I'll just turn it down a little tiny bit. Yeah, bit of steam, bit of sizzling, and in goes the chocolate chips. The heat's off, and we stir. That just takes a minute or two for this to work. Don't worry if it doesn't seem to be happening very quickly. Just keep stirring. Okay, right, now at this point I'm going to put the oven on, and it's going to go on to gas mark 4, which is 180 degrees Celsius, and if you're working in Fahrenheit it's 350. So we're going to take this back over to the worktop, and we've got one more ingredient to add, and we're away. Now, while our chocolate and cream are cooling a bit, we are going to beat an egg. And obviously you don't want the chocolatey mixture too hot because it'll kind of scramble the egg when it goes in. So give it a really good mix in a bowl, and then add it to your saucepan and stir. So what you've got in effect is like a chocolate custard, to be honest with you. So I've got as much of that as I can. Stir it in. Make sure it's all well blended. And then you're going to pour this into the pastry case. Now, it's always wise to put your pastry case on a baking tray, because if you have a spillage, it's not going to go all over your floor or all over the bottom of the oven. And it just makes it easier to carry. So there it is, that's all blended in really nicely, and I'm going to pour it into my slightly dodgy looking paper case. But you can see it's exactly the right amount, it's perfect. And that goes in and it cooks for 15 to 20 minutes. I prefer to do it for 20 just to make sure it really is well cooked. Get as much out as you can. Right, okay. Back to the cooker and in the oven for 20 minutes. Right, in it goes, middle of the oven, or slightly above the centre. You can see the value of having it on a baking tray now. And I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. There we are. Here it is, it's out of the oven, it's set. It's jolly hot, and I haven't had a problem with my pastry case, thank goodness. Now I like to serve it tepid, so I'm going to leave it to just cool, And in the summer I would serve it with raspberries or strawberries. If it was Easter time, I might decorate it with mini eggs. And in the past, for Valentine's Day, I've actually put little tiny white chocolate love hearts all the way around the outside. If you don't eat it all on the day it's made, it's fine. It will go in the fridge. It will set a little bit more firmly, but it really is. It's a good one. It's delicious. So have a go. Let me know how you get on.